Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, another wondrous Propagandacast from the host, Imperial Dane, a 1 versus 1 on the road to Kharkov. Yes, indeed, the road to Kharkov. Kharkov being the center of many furious battles between the Germans and the Russians set on the Eastern Front. We shall be watching here Hallolinski fighting for the Soviet Union and the 15th Mechanized Corps, going up against Hitman in real life of the 14th Panzer Division. We are seeing mechanized assault chosen right away, and of course now after the previous patch, well, not this one that just came out yesterday, but the one before that, so that was supposed to be the late stuff. Never mind, either way, you can actually choose doctrines right away. In this case, he's gone straight for a mechanized assault. I don't know if Hallolinski's done the same. No, not quite. We are seeing guard motor, urban defense, and counter-attack. But back to Hitman. Grenadiers first, MG42 second. There was a quick patch out yesterday. It fixed the Osttruppen, who were only doing half the damage they were supposed to do, for starters. And also a bit forward headquarters, which you can actually place everywhere you want it, and for free. After you'd placed the first one, which was a bit awkward, to put it mildly. Also some slight MG changes, and also some price changes to the assault grenades that now cost 200 manpower and 50 munitions, which rather makes them quite unique for an infantry unit, since they're pretty much the only one in Company of Heroes history so far which actually have a munitions cost in getting them in the first place. So that rather obviously puts a delay on them, although for me, my sort of strategy, it wouldn't really make a difference, though for some, of course, it rather does put a bit of a stick in the wheel. Lots of conscripts. Quick retreat here we see from the combat engineers. Looks like we might already be seeing some sort of strategy appearing here in the mind of Hallolinski. And these conscripts securing points down there, advancing up here. Road to Kharkov rather centered around the road, which actually sort of control access to pretty much all of the resources. This and this one, for example, would be quite vital. Although, of course, also this one, and I think that's actually it. I think there's like these 3 roads primarily, and then we actually got this spot as well, acting as a connector, come to think of it. Though this is less of a road, more of a small part of the village. But you get the point. Main good progress on the right side. 2 Grenadiers, MG42 up for Mr. Hitman. And we're seeing Hallolinski going up for the Special Rifle Command. This is a bit more unique. Only 2 conscripts out, and then immediately he's moving on to something else. Definitely not what we're used to seeing. Here we go, rushing in to protect the cutoff point, since he realizes he's actually in a bit of a spot of trouble. MG42 setting up. Grenadiers rushing ahead as fast as they can. And the Pioneers here, Hitman was bloody well too slow, and he ended up with a bunch of dead Pioneers in the middle of the road. Except Heinz here, who's desperately trying to make it to safety, while the conscripts are also getting shot at. Grenadiers rushing ahead, seeing here we actually Hallolinski going for the cutoff point of Hitman, although not the vital one, not this one. And there we go, flinging about, hooking up behind the MG42, very nicely done, forcing the MG to move, pulling back here, conscript still there, Special Rifle Command up, combat units moving out. Question is, what shall he be getting from it? Also noting here, he's actually in heavy cover, which actually limits the effectiveness of the MG42, which is actually out in the open. This is a bit of a ill-considered maneuver from Hitman, to be honest. He's going to need to get out of there. He might even lose the MG42 if he's not bloody careful. And we're actually noting a sniper out from Hitman, so this is the 2 Grenadier MG start. And we're actually seeing a 2 conscript sniper start out from Hallolinski. This is definitely a bit out of the usual. Doesn't mean it's a bad thing, but definitely not what we see very often. I think it's actually the first time I'm seeing it like that. Quick MG here on the Grenadiers, so no assault Grenadiers so far for Hitman. That's quite interesting. Usually, I mean, you need particularly go for this one early on to get it, but no. Instead, we are seeing the lighter machine and giving out upgraded onto the Grenadiers. Also got the details on the assault Grenadiers in terms of damage. They basically up close to as much damage as Panzer Grenadiers do, as that is individually. So, of course, a full assault Grenadier squad does a bit more than half the damage that the Panzer Grenadier squad does. They're, of course, cheaper and more durable than the Panzer Grenadiers. Of course, that's a bit their advantage. On the other hand, they do a lot less damage at range, and they can't really be upgraded with anything. So they have their advantages, they have their disadvantages. So there's that. Grenadiers are continuing to fight despite being blasted out by the snipers. Shall there be another victim? to the Heckenschützen, and we are seeing Sniper hiding behind here. MG42 also up. So now is advancing in there unawares. There's a German Scharfschütze waiting. And he can actually shoot at them, but I think he's not doing... Oh! Bit too late there, Heinz. A bit too late, Friedrich. Oh well. He's advancing up here so far. Hitman holding up alright. This was a bit of, you know, a bit of a bold punch move here that he went for. But ultimately, though, Hitman was able to stave off disaster and hold on. And certainly, I mean, this sort of thing, you know, was rather, you know, aimed at, you know, really delivering some nasty punches initially, but he didn't quite, you know, get to deliver quite as much as he'd wanted to. So now he's actually a bit low on units in comparison to the Germans. Bunker up, medic bunker up, so clearly not any assault grenadiers anytime in sight soon. Mounting up there. Sniper taking the point here, hiding behind some crates. It's the best hiding spot in this part of the village, yeah. So far no real heavy aggression going on here, looks like. Hitman is focusing more on his part of the side, not venturing into what he probably considers Hallolinski's nasty part of the map. And we're seeing shock troopers up. So he's already made his choice of doctrine, which also means he's pretty much gone for counterattack. He could of course also decide on some shock troopers here or some scout cars for something a bit more of a hasty mobile approach, but no. Sniper holding up here in the warehouse, nice job. Combat engineers moving up though, burning away, forcing the sniper away. MG42 setting up. He could try and set up some incendiary rounds if he wants to. I think it's actually made cheaper. Never mind. Either way, conscript charging here, and there's actually a small change here to the MG42. I think it's more directly suppressing, so you can't rush as easily as you could straight at the MG42 as you could previously, which is actually a slight problem there. But there you go, flanking about. And shock troopers catching the grenades up here. That's definitely a problem here for Hitman. He needs to retreat his grenadiers. That's the shock troopers moving in with their SMGs. Troops are being pushed away. Grenadiers holding up the right flank, but the grenadiers on the west flank definitely need to get out. They might not even make it out of there alive. But no, they manage. Rupert, though, did not.
The enemy is taking our territory.
But now the front line has cracked, so question is, can Hallolinski push forward enough? We're actually seeing a pretty quick mine up there. Good job. Grenade went off, maiming a few conscripts in the process. Snipers ready to move out. They haven't actually done a lot more damage this time around. They might want to quickly step up their game. Oh, they certainly won't make the Sniper School Hall of Fame.
Our industry grows to support us.
There we go, grenades open up, out in the open, and there we go, sniped. Another rifle grenade. One combat down, and there we go, retreating in the face of the... Oh, also going here for the cut-off point, very bold, very bold. Nice to see there, taking advantage of the rather open flank, and again, that's a bit the problem with the sort of strategy that Hitman is actually playing at. It's very poor at actually holding ground. It's good for, you know, inflicting damage, but it can't really hold a lot of ground, a lot of territory. And if a Soviet player can exploit that, I mean, they can really get in a nice advantage. Here, a good job would actually be to pop a smoke grenade right in front of the MG42 when he realizes what's going on, and then use it to get close. Actually, the opposite step for a regular grenade. Not quite the same effect, in particular since the MG42 can quickly get back to firing. So, but again, I think a smoke grenade here would have been the better choice. You know, once you spot it, use a smoke grenade to pretty much just charge in, get behind, then grenade, for example. Do not underestimate the power of a good smoke grenade. And we are seeing an immediate move on here to the Tankovi Battalion Command pretty early on. In response, I think we might... Ooh, we're actually seeing a support armor corps skipping the second tier. That's definitely a bit rare as well. Though I suppose that could also be why he actually went for the mechanized assault group. Or, well, mechanized assault tac doctrine. Because they could actually call in mechanized assault group if anything goes wrong. Call in some panzer grenades, for example, and then get some punch strikes in case he needs... Oh! I think he got the snipers. Oh. Bad luck there. Hallolinski needs to be a bit careful there. That's definitely going to hurt him. He definitely did not recuperate the cost there, although with the tank of Ibertain come out on the way, he might be able to get something back that way. And we're actually seeing a Sturmgeschütz out on the way here for Hitman. It's a Might of your Stug. Yeah. So definitely opting for something to support his infantry a bit more directly. Interesting, interesting. That's for sure. But so far nothing out of his doctrine. And so far from Hallolinski only the shock troopers. But time to pop over to Hallolinski, see what he's doing. He's rather low on units. I mean, both sides so far have actually not been spending a lot of, resources on frontline units. Though that might soon change for them on the wave of both sides, but there's rather been some aggressive taking going on for both sides, more careful maneuvering and others, more specific jabs, not really, some larger engagements. Oh dear, Sniper in serious trouble here. Those are the Grenadiers. Sniper looks like... Oh, he didn't make it! Shot in the gut! Rather unfortunate there. Small victory for Hallolinski. Combat in... Pioneers moving in from one side. Grenadiers trying to hold what they can there. MD42 sitting up in a nearby building. Sturmgeschütz moving ahead. T-34 almost done. Grenadiers forced away. Pioneers doing what they can, but they will soon be overwhelmed. And there you go, forced to retreat. Sturmgeschütz. Ausführung G. Moving up. One high explosive shell launched ahead and not really connecting with any targets. Another Grenadier squad upgrade with the light machine guns. He could consider upgrading with the Stuk with a machine gun as well. T-34 rolling in.
What do you want? We shall fight as never before, Commander.
And there we go, for Mother Russia available. And MD42 here being engaged by the T-34. Stuk needs to move up. Quickly deal with that and before the MD gets cleared out one way or the other. Grenadiers supporting the Stuk. Good job. So far T-34's not having an awful lot of luck with the MG. Stuk moving about. I mean, this is a sort of game where the T-34 has an advantage due to it having a turret, and the Stuk, of course, not really being that maneuverable. So if he can continue circling about and catch the Stuk in the rear, I mean, he's going to win that. On the other hand, oh, he made a mistake. He got too close to the Grenadiers. He was a bit too eager to circle about. He went too far. Opened up for the Grenadiers trying to hit him in the rear. That was rather unfortunate. Stuk moves ahead. Veteran 2, by the way, for the MG42. And a quick anti-tank grenade there on the Stuk. Doesn't actually damage the engine. On the other hand, it does force the Stuk away and might give the T-34 the chance to escape. MG42 might want to consider vacating the premises before it's too late. Bit of weaving about here on the left flank as Hallolinski made another jab there for the vital cut off. Or the arterial cut off, I suppose you can call it, whatever. T-70 on the way. That's not a bad idea. The Grenadiers advancing. Under fire from the retreating T-34. And there go, might see another anti-tank grenade. And there we go. Less than half health and a damaged engine. Bit of a battered front line here. Rather focused on this, what could be considered a strong point here for the Germans. An MG42 Veteran 2 and a Stuk. He's leaving the wings rather open, which could be exploited rather aggressively if Hallolinski decides to do so. The T-70 rolling ahead. A mechanized corps being different from a tank corps, and basically the mechanized corps was a bit more of a combined arms operation, whereas the tank corps was much heavier on tanks and much lower on infantry and other support weapons. Ooh, nice little move there with T-70, but again getting too close to the infantry there, getting Panzerfausted. Then again, the Stuk still has a pretty slow turning rate due to things, and oh dear, mechanized assault group has been called in. Panzer Grenadiers in the light infantry half track with some Sturmgewehrs. Conscripts moving ahead, going to attack. That's definitely going to be a bit of a dangerous endeavour as the Panzer Grenadiers fire away from inside the half-track. The leichte Schützenpanzerwagen. And quickly actually abandoning it seems like. But at the same time they expose themselves to the wrath of the Soviet army as they do so. Which perhaps was less well done. Anti-tank grenade though goes off in the half-track. Stuk slowly limbers ahead. Grenadiers need to get out of there. That thing's going to collapse any second. I mean, it basically just needs Boris to spit at it, and it's going to fall apart. Also, Hallolinski needs to train some infantry now. He's seriously low on it. Not really good. And again, Grenadiers need to get the devil out of there. Panzer Grenadiers on the retreat. Counter-attack going in from the Pioneers and the Grenadiers, perhaps to support the Stug. And these gentlemen still need to get the devil out of there. There we go, finally realising the danger of remaining in a house that is far from structurally sound. But noting that, Hallolinski's already managed some veterans with 3 conscripts, but it's time to get them out of there. And again, get some more infantry out there, please, Hallolinski, please.
Enemy forces are neutralizing a sector.
I suppose he could be a bit stressed out, but going for the cut-off point again.
Enemy forces are attempting to capture our territory.
And looks like he could also have been having some other plans in mind. I mean, he could try and go for the howitzer right now if that's actually what he wanted. T-7 moving up to support the T-34, retreating here. Grenadiers continuing to advance. Bit of a dangerous move here he's making. And there we go. Grenadier squad wiped out. That was a bit of a poor decision there from Hitman, I'm afraid to say so, but it was. In the meanwhile, though, Hallolinski continuing a nice little path of looting here on the west flank. Again, these conscripts need to be pulled back. Come on, Hallolinski, they're not in a good position. Another shock trooper squad, interestingly enough. D-34 being repaired. Oh, flamethrower tank burst on the Pioneers. And there we go, Panzer Grenadiers moving up. Sturmgewehr's blasting, and there we go. Pioneers dead though, but the conscripts were forced to retreat in the face of the mechanized Deutsches Infanterie, and more Grenadiers arriving.
Flamethrower squad here.
And there we go, KB-1 tank available, if Hallolinski so desires. I mean, an armoured push right now with this and a KB-1 tank could in fact force Hitman off the field. I think since he had very little to actually stop it at the moment. But let us see what Hallolinski actually does in response to this. And if there will be a response. There we go, KB-1 tank arrived. And there we go, an armoured advance, light, medium and heavy. There we go, veteran 1 for the T-34. MD-42 might want to consider getting the devil out of there. Stug advancing, Panzer is equipped with the Panzerschreck. And of course the KB-1 able to absorb quite a bit of fire, got a nice decent frontal armour as well. T-70 moving ahead there, trying to deal with the Panzer Grenadiers, but at the same time rather exposed himself to a lot of fire. Not sure why he's pulling back the KB-1 like that. I mean, it can absorb a lot more fire than a T-34, and it's actually much harder to penetrate. So right there, I think Hallolinski might have been a bit too worried about the KB-1, and rather might have given the Germans a bit of a chance there to knock out a bit more armour than they were supposed to. But there we go, finally forced to pull away. Stug Veterans 1, by the way, which does give it access to target weak point. In fact, it's very close to Veterans 2, since it's actually did a lot of damage to the KB-1. So that is something to keep in mind. We are seeing that most of Hitman's troops have actually been forced away. Shock troops moving up there, more Grenadiers arriving. He might want to consider some other troops besides that. Panzerkampfwagen arriving. But things are looking a bit desperate for Hitman as well. He's suffering a bit too high losses amongst his infantry at the moment. And we are seeing Hallolinski making a minor triumphant return. I think he also should get a second combat in his squad and begin basically repairing his tanks faster. Shock troopers caught here between the Panzer von the Stug and the Stug 3. So far seems to be working out to the advantage of the armour.
What do you want, comrade?
Yes, comrade.
Bit of quiet at the moment, though Hallolinski is holding most of the map in a nice stranglehold. We're also holding pretty much all of the valuable resources. All that's left here is regular territorial points for Hitman, which obviously doesn't give nearly as much. And certainly the resources are flowing into Hallolinski's pockets. Time to follow to Hitman though. There we go, 3 combat engineer squads all of a sudden. Fancy, fancy. Seems a bit quiet here on Hitman's side. KB1 getting repaired. Minor progress, MG42 supporting the Panzergrenadiere. Lovely that. Advance up here straight into the line of fire of the Panzer IV and the Stug. There we go. And the T-34 moving out. He could get himself a Stug 3E, just help deal with the infantry a bit more. Pioneers up to repair here. And conscripts a bit too close to everything, might get themselves a few nasty losses here to the Panzer IV and the Stug. And there we go. Squad almost wiped out. And another mechanized assault group looks like. Hitman's quite fond of the mechanized assault groups, in fact. And there goes shock troopers maimed as well. Brutally so, in fact down to 1 survivor. Northern advance encountering a bit of issues, but the Panzergrenadiers and the MG42 might be able to pull it off.
We are losing a sector.
Grenades and all other goodies. And another KV-1 tank arrives here for Hallolinski. No attempt at the 203mm howitzer at the moment, for which I'm sure Hitman is eternally grateful. On the other hand, of course, he is going to face 2 KB-1 heavy tanks and a T-34. That's quite a bit of firepower, and certainly quite a bit of absorption of firepower from these 2 KB-1s. One of the main things actually holding them back is basically they were actually quite hard to produce in comparison to other tanks, which rather limited their overall usefulness. That, and I suppose also the turret, which again rather had a limited gun, and of course the biggest they could ultimately there was the KV-85. But there we go. Veteran 2 for the Stug, definitely a bonus. That's the KV-1's advance. He needs to, oh, he can't seem to decide what he actually wants to get. Is the Stug or there's a Panzer IV? Panzer IV though is definitely the easier target. Not enough munitions here for a target weak point. The Panzer IV will go down. Trying to do so, although he did manage the T-34, but there we go. And he chose the KV-1 farthest away. That's a bit of an odd one. But he's definitely going to need some Panzergrenadiers up here to support the Stug. Then again, he might just been doing all of this to get away, ensuring the KV-1s couldn't encircle him, because if that happened, then he would have been pretty much in a game over situation. KV-1's pulling back for repairs. And I actually think he should have just have hunted down the Stug here with his KV-1s and tried to finish it off. Though we are seeing the Stug actually being awfully close to Veteran G3. And again abandoning the half-track. Looks like he might be on the hunt here for the KV-1 tanks. And there we go, Stug moving up once more, boldly so. KV-1's coming under fire here from Panzer X. Combat engineers en masse nearby as well. And there we go, 1 Panzer squad almost wiped out. Mine engagement out with the center scout car in trouble. Well, I mean half-track in trouble. Another target weak point. No, apparently not.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
Shock troopers going for the victory point there. Very aggressive play for the victory point, by the way, by Hallolinski. And both KV-1s made it out there alive. They're certainly quite more survivable. And again, I mean, for what you get, they're reasonably cheap in comparison to other heavy tanks.
Pioneers!
And certainly overall a bit easier to exist. These grenadiers don't need to retreat. Come on, Hitman. You do seem to lose an awful lot of grenadiers to this. Not really good.
Standing
Troops
by.
still need reinforcements. He's flooding with a manpower. He could consider a fuel cache up, and he could also consider perhaps getting a Strook 3E again to help deal with infantry, and another T-34. Still no sign of the 203mm B4 howitzer, or for that matter, anything else.
Enemy is taking our territory. Look here.
Strook doing alright. I again think he should upgrade it with the pencil-mounted machine gun
Our lines of supply are disrupted.
to help deal with infantry a bit. And we're seeing that Hallolinski is soon ready for another heavy armoured push with his very big KV-1 tanks.
Half-track ready. Yes.
Mechanized assault going up here the right hand side. 2 squads of Panzergrenadiers. 1 leichte Schützenpanzerwagen.
Panzer here.
Still no sign of assault grenadiers. Looks like he has no interest in them for the time being, which is only his fair opinion. Though so far he's really only used the mechanized assault groups. No Strook 3Es, no light artillery barrages, no assault grenadiers, and no Tiger, but then he hasn't the resources for that. Shock trooper assault. Panzergrenadiers here getting spotted by all of the armoured forces available to Hallolinski. These Panzergrenadiers are in for a world of hurt. They need to get out of there very, very quickly. And there we go. Half track with Panzer Stretch in it. Quick hit and run. And then looks like Hallolinski continues his armoured advance. MD-42 getting blasted. Grenadiers pushed away. Floating a bit of manpower there. Again, if he wants to get up from the Tiger, I mean, just spend some manpower on a fuel cache. It looks like we are seeing an assault on the base. Stu will need to get back. So with the scout car, looks like it's actually on the hunt here, although at the same time a bit exposed. Troops inside. Hitman's base are getting murdered. Not looking good. Another Grenadier squad wiped out. We might see a Panzer Grenadier squad joining the other casualties. Come on, Sturmgeschütz. Mach schnell. And there we go. Another squad of Panzer Grenadiers wiped out. Another Strook, by the way, on the way. Of course, in this sort of situation, I mean, there's no point in getting the E variant, since, I mean, there's not really much infantry at the moment. But there we go. Veterans E3, increasing the damage done by the Strook. That is definitely going to help Hitman a lot if he can keep it alive. If, being rather the large if here. Target weak point could prove valuable here. But right now it will look like there's a good chance here for Hallolinski to get, but no, he continues on. He allows the Strook to get away. T-34 down, but he allowed the Strook to get away. Oh, I think that was a bit of a mistake there from Hallolinski. That was a Veterans E3 Strook. On the other hand, this KV-1 could soon become Vet 2, which would definitely also improve that. But there we go. Second Strook ready. Reconnaissance on the way from Hallolinski to get an idea of what his opponent is up to, what their fascists are doing in the village. Veterans of the Grenadiers versus Veterans 2 shock troopers. Not really to the advantage of the Grenadiers. But quickly getting into a shed for better protection against the submachine guns, although a quick grenade around here could possibly clear the entire thing out. Oh, we do see the B4 has come up and almost wiped out the entire thing, but apparently only blew in the facade and the poor bastard waiting by it. But there we go, Grenadiers forced away. Again, flooding a bit too much manpower. Again, fuel caches would be an idea. Mr. Hitman. And perhaps some quick assault gunners to help replace some of the losses or something. Strook moving out on its own. KV-1 tanks in dire need repairs. And there we go, actually getting some assault grenadier now.
Grenadiers ready.
Forming some assault groups to help with things. And a third KB1. Definitely a lot of heavy armor here for the Soviets, but also encountering the Veterans of 3 Stug and of course the Veterans of 3 Panzergrenadiers. And there we go, target weak point. Not really a good maneuver here from Hallolinski. No support, and certainly no other KB1. And he really shouldn't have been sending it forward when he then encountered the Veterans of 3 Stug and Veterans of 3 Panzergrenadiers like that. That was definitely a bit of a blunder there from Hallolinski.
Assault guns half-track ready.
Enemy engaging!
Stock ready.
You have orders?
Assault Grenadiers leading survey. Panzergrenadiers and Stug following up. And I'm not sure what he was targeting, but he did not hit, which I'm sure his opponent was quite relieved about. But I do believe it's time for the mid-game analysis. Current situation is, Hitman's again in terms of territory a bit on the back foot. He's suffered a bit of some nasty losses on the other hand. He just wiped out one K1 pretty quickly. He's actually got a Veterans of 3 Stug, another Stug, and some other veteran infantry. And of course, he's got assault grenadiers, which can rather quickly replenish his ranks as long as he's got some munitions as well. He's also got a ton of manpower. I'm guessing he wants a Tiger, but again, he needs a fuel cast to really get that going quickly. Don't float that much manpower, even if you already have something like the Tiger again. Do something with the manpower to speed then the process up towards the Tiger. That sort of thing. But Hitman really needs to begin doing some damage, and he also needs to perhaps consider doing something about that howitzer before it's too late. Because otherwise it's going to get very, very unpleasant. For Hallolinski, of course, he needs to wipe out this arm and he needs to make a determined push to get that Veterans of 3 Stug, because a lot of it really is going to come down to that Veterans of 3 Stug for a large part of the rest of the game, because again, it will be able to do a lot of damage, it will be able to absorb a lot of damage, and if it also gets the MG forward, it's certainly going to be real pain for the infantry as well. So in that sense, all of Hitman's forces will be centered around this little thing. Of course, the Panzergrenadiers and the Grenadiers will certainly also be nasty, but not as important as this little thing. Hitman might also want to consider getting another assault grenadier squad, or perhaps some more Panzergrenadiers. By the way, again, this is rather going to be the focus, and again, for Hallolinski, it's going to come down to basically wiping out the armor using his KV-1s in a clever manner, and combining that with a howitzer, so that way he pretty much fixes it up. Gets them in, gets his Stug to just fire his K1, then firing the howitzer at it, and then he might actually have a decent chance of actually wiping it out, though it is going to certainly be a bit of a close shave. That would definitely be one approach to doing it anyways, and that would certainly be the sort of thing I'd try. But let's pop over to Hallolinski and pop back into the fight. And we are seeing full Mother Russia up, increasing damage, increasing speed. Ooh, and also actually making them much harder to deal with. Very nice little move there. Last 66 seconds, it costs a bit, and of course also gives some nasty nerfs afterwards, but still, it can actually be used quite aggressively. There we go, we are seeing him just pushing across the field. A lot of places. K1's not moving. Not sure what the combination they're hoping to achieve. Assault grenadiers and Panzergrenadiers moving up there versus the shock troopers, again under the influence of Mother Russia. Although the Stug is definitely helping quite a bit. But there we go, full retreat going on here. Retreating into the face of this much firepower. And it looks like from retreat from there as well, just as about the stability is about to wear off too, which is probably not a bad idea. Since again, there will be quite some nerfs involved for a bit of a while here. For the infantry, they are going to be fighting a lot less effectively for a period of time. Though I'm not entirely sure if the downtime period is actually also as long as the time it lasts. But yeah, exhaustion basically.
The enemy is taking what we have secured.
Stugs operating here in a nice pair.
Your predecessor
More pioneers. Another MG42. Looks like Hitman's beginning to dig in a bit harder, a bit
Enemy forces are neutralizing a
counter to the whole mechanized assault bit, but I suppose that's his prerogative, and looks like he's going to make another shot here with the 203mm howitzer. I imagine his tower is going to be somewhere around here.
We may now unleash our soldiers' patriotic zeal to increase combat effectiveness.
Ooh, a bit unfortunate there. But then again, I mean, if he actually managed to land a hit here, I mean, at the very least, this Duke's going to go down. This one might even get wiped out as well, at the very least, be in a very, very sore position. KB1's actually leading an assault over here. So enough, he's not going to engage those two. Not at least directly.
Supply sector under attack.
Half-track not really seeing much use, and again, I suppose that's a bit the problem again with its lacking weapons, which rather overall limits its use. It's basically a transport vehicle, which is sort of alright, but it also has a slight tendency of making a liability. And there we go. For Mother Russia, again, another furious infantry assault going in there. I mean, we're actually seeing the ability used, which is actually great. I actually wanted to see someone use it, so this is great. And we're just seeing here the infantry just getting swept away in the assault grenadiers. Can't really last up, so the Stooks are doing what they can to pour fire into this advancing Soviet horde. But the troops here will need to get away. Assault grenadiers are retreating. Veterans and fleet grenadiers will need to get away. He could call in another KB1 if he so wanted, actually. There we go, MG42 getting flanked, Stooks just blasting away, and we're seeing a lot of artillery barrage called in to support here. KB1's advancing up here, taking points as well. Good job, actually using his abilities a bit differently. Nice use of veterans' abilities, lovely. And there we go, forced retreat, heavy losses inflicted here in the assault. I mean, again, the Stooks can actually be quite effective even against infantry. Keep them a nice distant range and have some MGs on them. And there we go, light artillery barrage. I mean, this is just a scene of pure carnage. Advancing here to take another point. Would have liked to see another KB1 heavy tank. Then again, might be that Hallolinski has other plans. Might be. And there we go, actually getting a fuel cache up. But for some reason he didn't choose this one, which can't be cut off. Instead went for the point which can be cut off. That's a bit awkward. But there we go, making use of veterans' abilities. Lovely. And we're actually seeing a mechanized armor company up, realizing perhaps he's going to need something with a bit more oomph against the Stoogs, in particular the veterans of free. He might be going for some SU-85s, and certainly, I mean, combining the SU-85s with the KV-1s could actually prove to be a good tactic. The KV-1s basically absorb all the fire, keep the infantry at bay, while the SU-85s then proceed to deal with all of the armoured targets. And that could actually work out quite handsomely as a strategy. There we go, half-track. Recruit with some panzer grenadiers moving up here. Large infantry assault force going in. Looks like Hitman setting up for a nice assault from the right-hand side. Left-hand side, very unguarded. I mean, there's very little front line. He's very much now focused on large forces just making attacks. Oh! Oh, goodness gracious! Strike went in! He just lost all of his grenadiers. And I think the panzer grenadiers... No, just the grenadiers. There were no panzer grenadiers. That's just the squad leader, but... Grenadier squad's wiped out. He's just got that squad of panzer grenadiers left. Nice use of air reconnaissance right there. Very nice. And veterans, you won for the howitzer. Splendid job. Good use of his doctrine right there. In fact, at the moment, Hallolinski has pretty much been using every ability available. So far, Hitman's been using almost quite the same amount. So that's also, of course, another indicator of a good game. They're actually using their doctrinal abilities to the fullest extent, although it's still a Hitman needs to use this to 3E. But also, you know, veterans abilities at the very least. Hallolinski is not so much Hitman at the moment, which is a bit of a shame. But there we go, KV-1 armor is on the move. No SU-85s are being sent in, he might need to be careful here.
Aerial reconnaissance standing by.
You can certainly call in the SU-85 if you so wants. And I'd probably recommend doing it when he can. Before it's too late and he's certainly got no KB-1s to then screen them with.
It is ours.
There we go. Half tank moving ahead. Oh, wiped out pretty quickly. And there we go. Veterancy 3 shock troopers. And Panzer is almost wiped out here. KB1 needs to pull back. Come on. Hallolinski, pull it back. Pull it back.
Capture complete.
Come on. And too late. Much too late. Definitely a bit of a mistake there from Hallolinski. Stug advances a bit recklessly. KB1 definitely should have just continued moving up there instead of exposing the rear. Another strike from the heavy howitzer, but that was perhaps a bit misaimed. He should have, had the Stug not moving. And he might end up losing the other K1. We do see the H-85 now on the way, but again, that should have been fast route. Instead, he ended up losing both KB1s. Had the H-85 been there, this fight probably would have gone a bit differently. And a Tiger has arrived. That's definitely bad news for the Soviets. More grenadiers quickly there on the field to replace the ones lost.
We have a new Su-85 to deploy.
KB, or B4 though, close to Veteran 2. There we go, the H-85 arrives. Just a shame he doesn't have any KB1s to support it. Very much a shame. Still no idea why he's not upgraded this one with a light machine gun on top.
We are ready for anything. Ready for you have orders? Enemy forces are capturing our supplies.
And back to Hitman. Very intense infantry losses.
Use them well.
And again, he's got himself a nice armoured force at the moment.
Assault guns standing by.
And shock troops advancing under the intense interest of the Sturmgeschütz. And H-85 moving up, needs to be careful though, needs to be careful, doesn't want to get too close. And there we go, nice hit on the Stug. Ooh, first shot bounced off, Stug needs to get out of there. Oh, H-85 needs to get out. Oh, there we go, target weak point. And good night. That was definitely a bit of a mistake there from Hallolinski again. Do not underestimate the veteran Stug. That is one of the most dangerous things you can encounter if you're not careful. Ooh, actually managed to damage the engine of the Tiger. Conscripts going down. The veteran fleet conscripts. Very bad news that for Hallolinski. And the shock troops here might want to consider just getting out of the premises while they are still breathing. And there we go. Hit on the Stug. Took out a bit of the life. And wiped out the nearby pioneers. At the same time, gained the howitzer veteran 2. Shock troops continue to advance, going straight for the ND-42. And there we go, the ND-42 is forced to retreat. Pioneer losses are heavy, and thus quickly, well, replacements are in order.
The squad of pioneers has arrived.
Shock troopers continue to advance, regardless of anything else. So the losses continue to go up, and there we go, finally forced retreat. Endlich.
Heavy panzer here.
Yes?
And more shock troopers. Fascinatingly enough. Rather expensive, and again, rather expensive to reinforce. I'm not entirely convinced he might be making the right choice there, actually. Just spamming them. And another H-85. I suppose he's not too worried about something that can absorb the fire anymore. He just wants to destroy them, and he seems to sort of rely on, well, whatever seemed to work previously. Though I'm sure he might be a bit inexperienced against veterans of 3 Stooks, which are definitely always something else, in particular we don't take them seriously. But the Tigers once more combat ready. Advance across many things. Not sure what the Tiger is trying to do.
Enemy contact!
And there he goes, Stu coming under fire from the H-85. Stu in fact close to getting blown up. Looks like it somehow managed to escape the wrath of the H-85. The H-85 needs to be careful. And there we go, coming into contact with the the Stug 3. Veterans U3, by the way. And there you go, Tiger might set up for flank. Well done there, Hitman, well done, well done. We'll be able to get a chance there, getting close to the H-85. There we go, stopping with focus sight. Good job there, Hallolinski, realising the danger. And shifting over to manoeuvring mode, getting the hell out of there. Allowing inactive to escape from the Tiger tank. Good job. At the same time, the Tiger should be careful just to get too close now. That would definitely prove a bit poor for its health.
That's it! Fully reinforced!
The enemy is taking our territory.
Tiger pulling back. No mounted ore, by the way, from Hallolinski. Bit disappointed in that. And a light artillery barrage like around here. Bit of quiet again. Looks like we might see another shot here from the B4. And there we go, another gun that just got lost, another one maimed.
Light artillery barrage at your command.
And looks like Hitman is finally going towards the west hand side again. Another H-85 arriving for Hallolinski, and what could be happening here? An armoured advance by the looks of it. Could he be trying to go here for the howitzer? Could he? One thing you have to remember about the howitzer, it has a direct fire ability. It costs a bit, but on the other hand, it pretty much allows it to fire with complete accuracy at any target it can actually see. Which, fun fact, most artillery actually did if it came under attack from tanks. And in that sense, many howitzers actually also function like anti-tank guns. And there we go, turning about. Of course, it has a slow turning time. On the other hand, if the target remains in front of it, well, I'm sure you can guess what happens. And there we go. Tearing through the base. He should have gone straight for it, but no, he didn't. Instead, direct hit. Veterans E3 for the B4. Tiger almost destroyed. And there we go, H-85 moving up. Stug flank. This is looking really bad, really bad. I mean, the idea was nice, but Hitman really hadn't thought it fully through. And all of a sudden, there we go. Veterans E3, Stug 9. And the Tiger. Nicht die Tiger. Managing to shock the crew of the H-85. Calling in another Tiger, realizing he's lost this one. Veterans E1, but not fast enough. And there we go. Tiger and Stuk 3 down, all of a sudden, heavy losses. He's got a veteran 2 Stuk, he's got a Tiger, but I mean, the losses are incredible. And there are still 2 S-35s left now for Hallolinski. He needs to get this one quickly repaired. And of course, he's got the veteran 3 B4. I mean, I'm pretty sure right now if one shot from this could actually knock out a Tiger.
We are losing a sector.
Since the Vet 2-1 almost knocked it out.
Turret top gunner here. Panzerkampfwagen Tiger awaiting orders.
14th Panzer Division certainly a bit worn out. At least one company of Panzer Grenadiers certainly wiped out.
Ready for orders. Yeah? It's done. You now have Tiger tanks at your
And another shot. Another Grenadier squad gone.
squad has been killed.
Wiped off the face of the earth.
Yeah?
Stug needs repairs. Come on, stop bothering repairing. Mechanized Armor Company, get the S-35 repaired. Just going to speed this up a wee bit. Tiger watching over the CMD-42 spot there, though. Tiger though should be able to do things, and another light artillery barrage to cover things up.
It has arrived.
Both have focus sight. I think that might be a bit silly. Tiger getting blasted a bit. Forced to pull back. And time to pull back to Hallolinski. Could try and make another aim for the KU-1 again to absorb the fire intended for the H-5s. This one still needs repaired. Come on. Still got no idea why he actually is repairing this. This is a really poor case of priorities. Since the Mechanized Armor Company is not going to be the one thing fighting at the front. And there we go. Stuk moving ahead. And there we go. Target weak point again. He should have been focusing down the Stuk at the very least. Instead he hasn't, and now he might end up losing both their H-5s. Still no KB1 to support either. Looks like things are actually falling apart now for Hallolinski.
The enemy has destroyed one of our vehicles.
Will he try and fire a shot right here with the howitzer? That might be his last chance.
We have lost one of our armored vehicles.
A precision strike here might be the idea. Come on. You can do it. No, man, you can't do it now. You're too slow.
We have been reduced to 25 points. Failure is not rewarded.
It looks like he's just given up. Bit of a shame that. And there we go, howitzer gone, and game over. Loss for the 15th Mechanized Corps, victory for the 14th Panzer Division. Rather brutal armoured fight. We saw a lot of heavy armour from the Soviets. We saw also a bunch of German heavy armour. We saw Panzer Grenadiers, half-tracks, artillery. We saw full ability usage from the Soviets in terms of doctrines. We saw, you know, other veteran abilities used. We saw almost full veteran doctrine ability usage from the Germans as well. And we also saw some extensive use of target weak points. Overall, pretty exciting fight. The problem was a bit for Hallolinski at the end. He sort of mid-game to the end, he really couldn't get quite things, you know, meshed together. He made some mistakes with his tanks. He didn't, you know, get H-35 to really work with the K1s when he could have done so, which I think was definitely a mistake. And, you know, he never really then, when he had the H-35s, never really got any KB1s to support them. He also could have made better use, I think, of full Mother Russia, but still, he actually did all right with the overall. I mean, the problem was he basically couldn't quite get things to fully mesh together, although he made really good use of the B4, and that certainly, you know, knocked out the first Tiger in a rather brutal engagement. So, I mean, at the end, rather pretty close, but the problem was that Hallolinski kept making these small mistakes, which ultimately basically snowballed on him and cost him the game. He could also have done with a bunch of mines throughout the match, you know, mining here and there, and perhaps munitions cache. So, I mean, there you go. But I hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned a thing or two or three from it. If you did want to subscribe, tell your friends. If you didn't, well, why not replay the video and provide some feedback in the comments. This is Imperial Dane saying cheers.